There are few names as famous as Forsyths in the grand world of the piano. From their Manchester base, they sell, restore and tune one of the widest ranges of instruments in the country. The shop itself houses a show-stopping display of pianos, ranging from £400 to a concert grand that will set you back over £100,000. And over the festive period, these pianos will be dispatched to the homes of the rich and famous.
2, 3.
Or take their place on international stages. Today, fifth-generation piano connoisseur Simon Lote runs the business.
Almost like we've done it before.
We started in 1857 when Charles Halley was invited to come to Manchester to start the orchestra. He was delighted to come up, but he didn't know how to run a business, run an orchestra. So he invited his friends, the Forsyth brothers, to help him run the orchestra, and he suggested they could open a music shop at the same time.
Nowadays, their customers include Gary Barlow and David Beckham, to name a few. But at Christmas time, they attract an even wider clientele.
We don't always get the same type of customers we get during the rest of the year, because normally we get a musician buying for himself. But at Christmas, we get family members buying for another family member or buying for a musical friend, and they're not necessarily musical themselves.
You got it, Chris?
Yeah.
But today, they're awaiting a slightly different type of customer.
So this is the workshop. This is where we'll put the piano on its feet, unwrap it and check it out.
One of Manchester's newest and most luxurious five-star hotels wants one of their pianos to form a Christmas centrepiece in their restaurant.
They were wondering about the possibility of being able to have a piano for Christmas. They wanted it in the restaurant area. They thought it would be nice for creating a good mood.
His customer has arrived. Mario is the manager of the Gotham Hotel. He wants to add a Christmas sparkle to this year's festivities in his upmarket restaurant.
Christmas is coming to town, as we know, and it's a high time to get ready and be as Christmassy as possible. So I'm here because I'm looking to get a nice baby grand piano for the festive season. I put the order in about 4 weeks ago, and no, I haven't seen the piano just yet, so that's why I'm excited today.
Hello, young sir. You're
Hi,
right.
Mario. Good to see you.
Likewise.
You're right.
So we just got it out of our basement this morning.
It looks lovely, it looks perfect.
The £15,000 piano has travelled from China by boat to take centre stage at the hotel. But its next journey to the 6th floor restaurant could be its most perilous. The only route is via the customer lift.
Everybody told me there was no way you get a piano in that lift.
He was walking around with a tape measure, so...
Is that it? 2 centimetres at each end?
yeah.
Maybe it won't fit.
But the only plan B will be a crane. Let's hope we don't have to resort to that. I'd be much happier if Simon gets in a lift and set up in half an hour, as he promises.
Right, where's the tape measure?
Yeah.
It's the beginning of an anxious day for Manchester's oldest music shop. After a week in the workshop being tuned, they're due to deliver a £15,000 piano to a luxury hotel in the city centre.
Come on then, let's get started.
It's a delicate operation, and shop owner Simon is travelling with it every step of the way.
Slightly concerned that the lift is very, very tight. I had a look at it yesterday, and the lift was smaller than I remembered. Oh, no. It's very hard to tell because of the curve of the piano. We're slightly worried it's going to be just a bit too long. When the lift doors close, then I'll be able to relax.
It's a nervous wait for Hotel Gotham's manager, Mario, who's pinning his hopes on the piano becoming a real showstopper in his 6th floor restaurant. But the practicalities of running a hotel in a listed building are a constant challenge.
The plan for the piano is to come through our main guest lifts. This is a listed building and everything in it had to be made to fit the building. So what I'm hoping really is that the actual piano is not much bigger than me.
Back at the shop, the baby grand is on the move.
So we have our best piano movers here today. The Gilbert brothers, Wayne and Neil. They're absolutely fantastic. They've been moving pianos all their working lives, and if anybody can get the piano in there, they can. So we're all loaded now, and then we find out if it fits.
At the hotel, Mario is anxious to cover all bases and has a plan B in place, but it's an expensive last resort.
If the piano doesn't fit into our guest lifts, we would have to hire a crane, probably stop the traffic around the building as well, and then lift the piano 7 floors up and then physically carry it 1 flight of stairs down into a restaurant on the 6th floor. I'm desperate for that not to happen.
Hi, Mario.
Hello. Welcome, nice to see you.
Thank you. Good to see you. Yes.
We've just finished exceptionally busy breakfast service. We're on very tight time schedule to turn the room around for lunch, and the piano has to be fully in place in time for that. So time is at a premium. I am very scared.
Come on then, Wayne. Let's have a look.
My turn now. That's it, we're turn towards the lift now.
4:30 this morning, thinking, will it fit in the lift? Problem is, that's where the door's wider.
I'll make it down.
They've done this before.
To Simon's relief, they've made it with less than 1 millimetre to spare.
Can you press the button? That's the only problem.
Where are we going? 6?
It's on its way up.
It's a good sign.
The piano might have made it to the 6th floor, but until it's set up and working, they're not out of the woods.
It's a lot heavier than it looks, I promise you.
And there's bad news. There's something wrong with the piano.
It's fallen out, hasn't it? The rod that lifts the damper tray, that lifts all the dampers up when you press the pedal down, has come out of position when we turn the piano on its side.
There's only one thing for it. Simon will have to strip the piano down, and it's a race against time.
Right, we have exactly an hour until the first lunch table arrives.
Is that it?
No.
But it doesn't seem to be jamming on anything, I don't... There we go, is that it?
At last, there's some news.
Wayne tells me we've managed to get it located back in. Watch your fingers. Yeah, so now it's doing what it's supposed to do.
But the show's not over yet. This is no ordinary piano, and Simon has a final trick up his sleeve.
There's something somebody at work recorded earlier.
Was it you at 4 o'clock this morning? You see? Christmas at Gotham.
The piano has a library of built-in music that it can play by itself.
I think difficult job, well done. So thank you very much.
You're welcome. Have a Merry Christmas.
Thank you, you too.
Ah, that's a relief.
After weeks of hard work, Gotham Hotel is adding the final touches to their Christmas preparations. 2 Nutcracker statues take pride of place outside the hotel. Inside, the pièce de résistance is their £15,000 baby grand piano.
The piano is in place, the wines are ready, decorations are in place, toy soldiers are outside. So hopefully, fingers crossed, tonight is the night when it all comes together.
Tonight, Mario, the hotel manager, will be hosting Gotham's first Christmas party, and he's invited a VIP guest to the celebrations, local businessman Simon Lote.
Hi, it's my favourite piano man. Good evening. You're right. Good to see you, Simon. Welcome back.
Thank you very much.
Shall we? Yeah, let's have a quick look.
Simon owns an independent music shop in the heart of the city and has supplied the expensive piano for their Christmas festivities.
Yes, the Christmas has officially arrived. Our first Christmas party is this evening. Yes, tonight is going to be an exceptional night, I think. Yes.
Mario is hoping that it was money well spent, but will this beautiful instrument hit the right note with the hotel's discerning clientele?
It's lovely that they've got a nice grand piano, playing nice Christmas music, great ambience for a nice dinner.
It was lovely to see Mario so happy with the piano fitting in perfectly with his Christmas decorations. The fact that he's using it by itself and with a pianist, I think he's getting the most benefit out of it. And so yeah, he's happy, I'm happy.
For many of us, Christmas wouldn't be Christmas without a drink. In fact, during December, we Brits spend a staggering £2.3 billion on booze alone.
As Christmas kicks off, millions of us will be enjoying ourselves by partying in city centres up and down the country. And although most of us will be enjoying ourselves responsibly, there are some who will take it to excess. And when that happens, it puts a massive amount of strain on the emergency services. So who do they turn to when they need an extra bit of help?
Manchester Street Angels is a voluntary organisation who patrol the city centre streets. Similar initiatives operate all over the country. They help people who have found themselves in trouble during a night out. By day, Andy Poyser works in accounts. By night, he patrols the streets of Manchester.
Andy, this is it. You're about to go out on your first patrol of the night. You're going to let me come with you. What are you expecting to find tonight?
We're going to see some people that maybe have already started drinking, had too much to drink. We're going to help them out. We're going to look out for people that are on their own, that are lost or vulnerable.
But the first step tonight, there's actually a briefing with the police, who you're obviously working quite closely with. What's that going to involve?
Yeah, basically we attend a police briefing before we go out each night, and they'll tell us anything, any major events that are happening in the city centre, anything to look out for in particular.
And the briefing's happening shortly, so let's go.
Let's go. Sure. Let's go.
The volunteers work very closely with Greater Manchester Police. Inspector Christopher Hadfield is in charge of policing the city's streets tonight.
Right, evening everyone. Okay, for those who have done it before and haven't, Zone 1, staff, that's the northern quarter, the print works, and Deansgate. Zone 2, the locks, Peter Street and Castlefield. And Zone 3 is the village, Piccadilly and Piccadilly Gardens. Okay, what events have we got on tonight? We've got the warehouse project at Store Street, 1,800 capacity dance venue. As we say, we've got 4 officers deployed to that already. Billy Connolly's performing, that finishes at 11 o'clock. England and Scotland, anyone got the final score on that? 3-0 to us, okay. We've got the Manchester Street Angels, welcome. You guys have had first aid and conflict training.
Manchester Street Angels is a charity that was set up following the death of Adam Pickup, a young lad from Bramhall who went out one night, sadly with a group of friends, and didn't come home. On the back of that, lots of people got together, and as a movement of people, they decided to do something to try and help other people that might be in that position. All Manchester Street Angels are volunteers. They all give their time freely. We all have the common aim of helping people to get home safely after having a night out in Manchester.
Okay, Andy, we just had the briefing. Quite a lot of information there to take in.
Yeah, there's a lot of information. Obviously, this weekend is the first weekend of the Christmas markets, so there's a lot more people coming into Manchester.
And we also heard from the inspector that was giving the briefing there how the officers were already stretched, going out to calls all over the place before the briefing had even started. So to know that he's got you on the ground, you and your team, as an extra pair of eyes and ears must really be a good thing for the police.
Yeah, we work very closely with the police. We work alongside them, so we're there for their eyes and ears a lot of the time, really.
OK, well, the briefing's done, so let's get on with it, Andy. I'm in your hands.
Thank you. OK, this way.
Here in Manchester, there are over 2,000 licensed premises. That's a pretty big pub crawl. And with the Christmas market bringing in the crowds, we could be in for a busy night.
So, just already coming out, do you get the feel that it is a little bit busier now that it is coming into the festive season?
You can immediately see, as we're walking out, there's 2 lines of cars which are not usually in place. We've got groups of people over here on the right-hand side that are congregating near a cash machine.
OK.
Immediately, we can see more people on the street than what we usually see.
Alcohol-related situations account for much of the work they do. And in a city of busy roads, the dangers are everywhere.
Some of the speed that some people are driving down here, it's all a bit bravado and showing off, I'm sure, but if someone has had too much to drink and they're staggering across the road, that could be serious.
Really serious. The potential for people staggering off the curb.
Yeah, it happens, doesn't it?
It happens, yeah.
Yeah.
It happens.
Within 30 minutes of patrolling the streets, the Angels get their first call for help.
Somebody's fallen over getting into a taxi here.
Right.
The ambulance has already been called.
Had the ambulance not been here, this is something that you would...
We would definitely have picked this up, yeah. We would definitely have helped that person,
Yeah.
given them initial first aid and called an ambulance straight away for them.
The volunteers come from all walks of life and have all sorts of reasons for giving up their evenings to look out for others. But for Andy, it's personal.
Why did you become a street angel?
A younger colleague of mine had too much to drink. He was in a bad way, and because he'd been sick, and there was lots of people that were just walking past him and weren't
Right.
looking after him. So I started off by helping him really, and making sure that, you know, he was in a safe enough to get home.
Right.
It's so reassuring to know for loved ones that there's somebody there that will at least be looking out for them. Team, we're going to turn right at these lights, so we've got a guy just on the right-hand side here, guys. Okay. This gentleman, if you want to just check he's all right.
What made you think he needs looking at?
Basically, he was bent over, facing the ground. It looked like he was unsteady on his feet. He was leaning against the wall.
From the position he was in, it looked like he could have been possibly been sick,
Exactly.
he might have been unwell, he could have been attacked, it could have been anything, couldn't it, from a distance?
We don't know until we approach them, really, yeah. So that's why we're there.
But you can see he's having a bit of a laugh and a joke
Yeah,
with your team.
so what we'll do now is I'll probably call the team back and we'll move on. I reckon just cross over. There's a nightclub just on the right, that next one. Just have a quick look at 42s.
Thankfully, it's been a quiet night for the volunteers, but the countdown to Christmas is only just beginning.
So Andy, we're just finishing the shift now. Although there was lots of people out and about, in your terms, you think this was a quiet shift?
Very quiet shift, really. We're there to reassure people and smile and laugh and joke with people. We want people to enjoy themselves. We want people to get home safely. And tonight, it's a job well done.
Well, it's a cold night, it's Christmas. I think it's time to get the kettle on, don't you?
Fantastic. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go, team.
Andy's just said he's going to make everyone a cup of tea.
Oh,